Sister girl on films, you don't wanna miss a thing, better stay tuned in. So lay back, get into the vibe, in the mood. Real reviews from a sister's point of view. Trailer reactions, movies and TV. So entertaining and authentic, believe me. So roll that footage, I'm ready to chill. Time to hang out with my sister girl. Hey, sister girl on films. Hey, sister girl on films. Hey.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films. And if you saw my video before this, which was my Bel Air episode 1 through 3, you're going to see I have the same get up on because I have a lot of content to record this week. So I got to pump out these videos. The premise of Love is Blind, if you are not aware, so they get, I believe it's 30 singles, and they have them all go to a secret location. And the men and women are separated, and so when it's time for them to go on their dates, they go into these pods, and then these pods are like little rooms closed off, and so the daters are separated by a frosted partition so they can't see the person that they're on their date with. And the objective is for them to build a connection, so if one of them is interested, then they'll propose, and if the other one accepts, then they leave the pods together, and they leave the island, secluded place, whatever, as an engaged couple. And then after 4 weeks, they plan a wedding and they decide if they're going to get married and stay together or end their engagement and go their separate ways. A lot, right? So first and foremost, my main critique about this show, season 1 and this season, is in the fact that although we do get to know some of the contestants, we don't get to know all the contestants. And like I said, I think there's 20 to 30 contestants, and we might see them in a clip here and there. We might see their name, but we don't really get to see all of them. Because I know at the end of season 1, it came out that there were at least 1 or 2 other couples that got engaged that we never even saw their story. Like, what the hell is that about? So I'm like, why are they limiting it to only certain couples, certain amount of couples? Why don't we get to see all the dates? Because I'm pretty sure it's interesting. I don't know. So that's probably like my main gripe about Love is Blind. It's just that I feel like I wish we got to see more of the contestants, because if you're going to have 30 some odd people on the show, let us meet them. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about our couples that formed. That's how we're going to do this. So first, I'm going to start with Nick and Danielle. So Nick and Danielle got on my nerves the least, okay? Because they were pretty boring. You know, they seem to amp it up a lot after they get off the pods, and they don't seem compatible to me. But right out the gate in the pods, they were dropping the L word left and right. After the first episode, like, Nick proposed, and they're talking about I love you and all this other stuff. How? I can see if they like somebody and they're building a connection, and I'm like really interested in you and I really want to date you outside of this. I'm not interested in anybody else. So yes, I'm proposing to you, and what my proposal really means is that yes, you're my fiance, but really I'm just saying I want to date you. That's fine. But like, I never loved anybody so much in my life. What? After like 5 days? Okay. Nick and Danielle. So for part 1, Nick and Danielle, although they are delusional AF, and we really kind of saw that when she got sick in Mexico, I just didn't like how Nick was handling her when they were on their honeymoon or pre-marriage moon, whatever, when they were at their couples resort, or however you want to call it. I just wasn't feeling it. Like when she was basically describing a panic attack he had, and he like flipped out on her, and I'm like, bruh, she's obviously like having anxiety about something. So process that with her, or find out the best way you can support her. But you like starting to fight with her and cussing her out ain't making it no better. Okay? And the fact that she's talking about after their first night together, she thinks she might have to go get a plan B. Excuse me? I was grossed out, and I said, y'all are doing the most way too soon, and I'm gonna need y'all to stop. Okay, but those are my thoughts on Nick and Danielle. At this point, at the end of part 1, I don't see them getting married after the 4 weeks. Like I said, he does not have the emotional intelligence to deal with her, and she does not have the fortitude to really communicate her needs as somebody who obviously is dealing with some sort of anxiety disorder. So let's move on to Salvador and Mallory, okay? So they were like the second least annoying of the bunch. The reason being is just that they were boring. Mallory is not into Salvador like that. Let me tell y'all why, okay? So obviously we don't see everybody that they go on dates with, but we know that Mallory and Jarrette, which we'll get to Jarrette here shortly, we know that Mallory and Jarrette had a connection. But here's the thing. Once they left the pods, Mallory made it very clear that what she was getting from Jarrette, she had already had before. She had dated guys like that. So to my ears, that meant that she had been dating black guys and she was tired of it. Okay. I mean, listening to Jarrette, if I was just going by his voice and my eyes were closed, I would immediately assume that he was a black guy. Just based off his voice, he gives black guy just energy. Okay. And so when she said that at the couples retreat, I was like, well, that's why she picked Salvador, because number one, he was obviously, you know, Spanish. They were speaking Spanish together. They had cultural things in common, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think that's awesome when you can bond with somebody based on your culture. Culture and race are not the same, but you know, they had those cultural things that really connected to her, and I think she was feeling that. And also when they were in the pods, y'all remember when Jarrette told her about the dream he had about her? And she was like, damn. She was not feeling it. I think it was just too much for her. And then when, after that date, when he told her about the dream he had about her, and she was like, well, sweet dreams. And he was like, well, I hope you dream about me. She was like, yeah. She was not feeling it. I don't think Mallory was, either it's because she knew Jarrette was a black dude and she knew she didn't want to date a black dude or be engaged to a black dude, or it was just all surface. Because y'all remember, like, they had a date later on, and Jarrette was like, what do you do for a living? I don't think I ever asked you that. And she was like, you never did? I don't think we ever got to that. So how did y'all not get to the base level stuff on the first date when y'all first interacted? Like, what were y'all even talking about? I feel like their connection was way more surface, and Mallory really picked up on that. And she also picked up on that voice and probably things that he liked to do, and was like, nah, let me go with something different. Let me go with somebody that I know I will be able to build a connection with based on our cultural values. And let's keep in mind that the purpose of this show is to get married. Now, while this is not true for all Latin or Hispanic cultures, but there are a lot where marrying black people is not popular. And I don't know what Mallory's background is, but that is a thing. And so she heard Jarrette's voice. She probably realized that if I bring this black man home to my family, they're going to have a whole fit. Let me know in the comments below if you think that also impacted Mallory's decision, because I believe it did. And Salvador was the best bet, because she can take Salvador home to her mama and her daddy and her family, and they will accept him with open arms because he is from the same, at least overgeneralized culture as she is. As far as them outside the pods, I think it's going to be boring. I think that she's really going to break his heart because she's really not into him like she's pretending to be. And I think when it's all said and done, I don't think Salvador and Mallory are going to get married. Just my honest opinion. She's kind of hung up on Jarrette. She's fighting on her real feelings. I think she's physically attracted to Jarrette, but she knows that culturally her family's not going to accept Jarrette because he's a black man, and she don't want to deal with that grief. But I don't think she really wants Salvador either. So I don't think they're going to get married either. Let's talk about Jarrette and Iyanna. So first and foremost, Iyanna, MVP. I love her. She is my fave. Is it just me, or does she really look like Ladybug from Diggable Planets? I'm going to put Ladybug's picture here. I was like, girl, is that your mama? Because this is exactly who you look like. And every time she showed up on the screen, I was like, I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. We eat the chocolate. That's all I kept thinking. Ladybug, is that you? But I love Iyanna's energy. And again, I hate that we didn't get to see her on any other dates. Like, we primarily saw her with Jarrette. And I know she had to have connected with somebody else. And I hate that we didn't get to see that. But I loved her and Jarrette's connection. Like, the first time I saw them together, I immediately wrote down, so cute, I hope they pick each other. Because it's just the energy. It really, for me as a viewer watching, it looked like they had known each other for longer than 30 seconds. And I was here for it. And Jarrette seemed comfortable with Iyanna. So when he was really going gung-ho with Mallory, I just couldn't figure it out. I was like, I'm not seeing the vibe with Mallory that I see with Jarrette and Iyanna. I just didn't see it. And also too, I think that Jarrette, when he heard Iyanna's voice, I think he had a visual in his mind of a different type of black woman, because Iyanna clearly looks biracial. And I don't think that's what Jarrette thought she was going to be. And I might be reaching, but I feel like maybe he wanted, you know, maybe not a black woman. I'm just saying. Because he's talking about he had a dream and he saw curly hair and all this other shit. Boy, that was my vibe on that. But I was pissed off. Let me tell y'all. I was pissed off when Jarrette sat up there, asked Mallory, if I asked you to marry me, what would you say? And Mallory stopped and she was like, no, I have a connection with somebody that's much stronger. This Negro just boo-hoo and baby crying and all this other shit. I get it. You were rejected. Fine. I realize that. But then he had the ashy, unmitigated gall to go up in that damn pod and tell Iyanna, I want you to feel like you are my second choice. Negro, what the hell do you mean? You just asked another girl, if I asked you to marry me, what would you say? Had she said yes, y'all would be frolicking out this damn pod today and you wouldn't be thinking about my ass. So then how you gonna say, well, it was half and half, you know, and I just don't want you to feel like you were a second choice. Use a black ass lie. And that pissed me off. And I said, Iyanna, you do not deserve this. And this is why it pissed me off that we couldn't see other connections that she had, because she has a bomb ass personality. And I know it had to be other men in that pod that were feeling Iyanna. You can't tell me it wasn't. I'm still mad about that. The nerve. And then, y'all, when Iyanna left that pod and she just broke down crying, she couldn't even walk. Oh, I felt that in my soul. I just wanted to hug her and also fire off on Jarrette and his thick ass neck. Okay? But he came back. I don't know why she said yes, child, but Iyanna agreed to marry him. So outside the pods, I'm really digging Iyanna and Jarrette, but Jarrette is really giving me low-key sneaky vibes and a cheater. And Iyanna just really seems like she's so sweet and she will work through anything for him. And I feel like when it's all said and done, I think they will get married. But I don't know if they're going to stay married. But I think they will get married. And it'll only be because Iyanna has such a big heart. And she seems like she's a really forgiving person and really loving. And Jarrette, yo, punk, don't deserve her. Unless you show me something different in the rest of the season that you ain't shit. Right now, you ain't shit, brother. Let's get to the next couple, honey. And this cringe fest. Cringe. I don't really even have a lot to say about this couple, only because anytime Shake and Deepti, anytime Shake was on the screen, I had to fast forward past his stuff because he was so cringy. Like, he made my stomach hurt. Ugh. Like, the questions he was asking the other women, basically trying to figure out what they look like, and the women were like, that's not the point of this. The point is to get to know us. Like, you're asking all these questions to figure out what we look like. That's not what we're here for. So that got on my nerves, and I was shocked that Deepti was like actually into him, but I think that it had a lot to do with also, again, culture. But I also think that she kind of connected with Shake because she had also lost weight and stuff like that. So them and their physical appearance and things like that really being important and connecting them. And I thought it was interesting that both of them said that they had never dated another brown person. Their words, another brown person. They've only dated white people. And so this was both their first time dating someone within their own culture. I thought that was super interesting. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I was just very surprised that they had never dated someone within their own culture, and now they're engaged in marrying somebody within their culture. There has to be some internalized things going on with the both of them, and I feel like it's starting to surface outside the pod, especially with Shake and him. First of all, when they first met and him squeezing her butt. I was so grossed out. And luckily, Deepti said she liked it. But no. That is a level of physical touch I am not comfortable with somebody that I am just meeting for the first time. I don't care how many conversations we've had through a partitioned wall. Don't freaking grab my butt after you first meet. Oh, just awful. I hated it. But like I said, DT, she liked it, honey, and that's all that matters. But I feel like they will end up lasting the 4 weeks. I think they will end up getting married. But, you know, I think it's because Shake is aware that he has some things that he needs to work through with himself in terms of his standards when it comes to beauty and physical appearance, and he recognizes that Deepti is a good girl because she is super sweet. She's another one that I feel like Shake does not deserve her at all. She is so sweet. She has some insecurities that she's trying to work through, and at this moment, she might feel like Shake is a safe place for her to do that. I don't see that in him, but maybe he might show us, you know, later on in the season that he is a safe place for her to be able to really process some of those insecurities and body image things that she has to deal with. But right now, he is giving me arrogant, cringe. And when she says stuff, he's like, yeah, you want to do that? Yeah. Ew. Shake I can't. He is too cringy, y'all. And when people are cringy like that, I can't. I physically cannot. It makes me uncomfortable. And he just really makes me uncomfortable with stuff he says. It's very like pornish, and I hate it. Shaina and Kyle. Shaina, first of all, I hate. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. I don't like her. I don't hate her. I don't know that lady. But what she's presenting on screen, I do not like at all. She really gives me like... she really gives me, I supported the January 6th insurrection and I voted for Trump twice and he won the election. That's what she's giving me. That's what she's giving me. That's what I have to go on. That's what she's giving me. I don't like it. I'm not here for her. I'm not here for it. She's giving me all of that. Everything about her says that, from her lip fillers to her Botox to her all that. She's giving me all that and I can't stand it. I'm not here for it. The reason why I think she chose Kyle, first and foremost, Kyle proposed first. If Shane had proposed first, she would have said yes to Shane, but Kyle came first. And because she didn't know what way Shane was going to go, because Shane, we're going to get to his ass last. Shane was playing both sides of the fence heavy. And she wanted to be able to get out of here with somebody. Now peep this, y'all. She wanted to get married because the bitch is old as hell. I don't care how old they saying she is. She old as fuck. So she just wanted to get married. But also, too, she conniving. Let me tell you why I say that. Because if y'all were paying attention to her face the whole time whenever Natalie would come back from her dates with Shane, she was always smirking, trying to peep Natalie, see what she was doing. Very conniving, very sneaky. And then when she would be in her dates with Shane, talking to him, he's like, so what you wearing over there? First of all, cringe. Second of all, oh, you know, just an overflowing shirt, a crop top. Oh, you're so hot. Ugh. Child, a rabbit baboon can put on a crop top. That don't make it hot. Shit. That kept pissing me off. Oh, you're so hot. And she's just like, Shane, shut up. And I really feel like she said yes to Kyle because she knew that Shane was going to ask Natalie to marry him. And either way, she was going to see Shane. And either way, she was going to try to get Shane. That's why I don't like her. opportunist, can't stand her. And we see in upcoming episodes is exactly what her ass is gonna try to do. You really think you have a connection with her? You think you're compatible? Bitch, worry about you and Kyle, okay? And speaking of Kyle, another reason why I think she picked him is because when you listen to the sound of his voice, if you close your eyes, he really gives off like tall, all-American white man. That's what she thought she was getting. She didn't think she was gonna get this. She didn't think she was getting Kyle. Be nice. She didn't think she was getting the Kyle, okay? And then he's atheist. That's how y'all know she really didn't want him. B word, if you are that much of a Christian woman, if you are that much about your faith, if you are that much about your religion, ain't no way in hell you would marry or be engaged to an atheist. No way in hell. None. That don't even go. That don't even make no damn sense. And then, if I'm not mistaken, ain't Kyle a vegan? And when they were on their little resort outside the pods, he ate some meat for her and said he was willing to hear her explain her religion and her religious beliefs. Kyle is going to get hurt in this process, and I'm not here for it. And that's another reason I don't like her ass, because she's manipulative, she's an opportunist, and she don't give a damn about nobody but herself, and she damn sure don't care about Kyle. And I don't care if Kyle's an atheist, I don't care what he believes, I don't care if he's a Satanist, whatever. He's still a human being. He deserves respect, and he deserves somebody that's gonna treat him with some damn dignity. And her ass leaving that resort. Ooh! Y'all done got mad. When they was on that damn resort and she packed up her raggedy ass duffel bag and she got on the plane and she left Kyle there by himself. It's just the worst. She's the worst. She is the worst. Hell no, her and Kyle ain't getting married. Hell, they probably ain't even gonna stay engaged to make it to the part to decide if they're gonna get married or not. Kyle better not in the hell marry her ass. The audacity. Ugh, y'all, let me move on. Cause see, I done got pissed off. I really done got heated and mad for real. I wanted to fire off on her ass when she did that to him, cause she wasn't shit for that. And then his little sad little puppy face looking ass sitting in that room with his robe on, just, I mean, I get it, you know, it's a lot. Boy, what that girl say? Stand up. Stand up.
Stand up. Stand up.
Get a backbone, Kyle. Shit. Okay, last couple here. We're going to talk about Shaina and Natalie. I mean, Shaina and Kyle probably should have been last because she really pissed me off. But oh, that Shane. Oh, that Shane. And Natalie. Both of them. Get on my damn nerves. Both of them. Get on my damn nerves. First and foremost, Shane's ass. Date where he was with Natalie and she walked into her pod and he's like, hey, who's that? And she's like, who do you think it is? Well, I'm hoping it's Shaina. Y'all, my mouth was on the floor and she's just sitting there. He's like, hello? Hello? And she's like, it's Natalie. He was like, fuck. And then tried to gaslight her and be like, well, you know, we're dating other people. I said, he done lost his damn mind. And the fact that Natalie did not walk out of that pod and leave his ass in there talking to the wall and he walked out, talking about he was pissed off. Oh, hell no. I couldn't believe that shit. I was to the roof. You done sat up here and called this girl another woman, said that you hoped it was that other woman, and then when she said it was her, you tried to turn it on her and make it seem like she was overreacting because we're all dating somebody else. Didn't even consider the fact that that could have hurt her feelings. Didn't even consider that. Shane is a piece of shit. I just could not believe he did that to her. And then when they got to the resort, low-key, y'all, I feel like Natalie is still hurt at how Shane did her in the pods. That's why she's kind of being a little bitchy to him. But he is a sensitive little fuck. So anything that she says to him, he just can't handle it. And I was surprised at how much he needed like her validation on his physical appearance and stuff like that. And she was just, I think that took her back too, like, but he really needed her validation on everything. And I thought that was really surprising. And he was like, wanted to have sex on the first night and all this other stuff. And I said, what's up with all these couples having sex? I think they eventually did have sex, but she was really trying to make it seem like they didn't. But Nick and Danielle had unprotected sex. Mallory and Salvador had unprotected sex. Like, yuck. What are y'all doing? Y'all just met these people. Put a condom on. The fuck? I know they got them. Natalie, I can't really read her. Like, I don't know. The fact that he was so like into her in the pods, I didn't get it. And every time they were on dates, I was trying to understand what he was seeing in her and what she was seeing in him, and I didn't get the connection. And I still don't get it out of the pods, and I get it even less. And Shane is not feeling how cold she presents. And I don't know if her being cold is a defense or she's still really pissed off about how things unfolded in the pods. But either way, she better get it together because that little wench Shaina is about to make her move. And I feel like Natalie is the type that she will snatch Shaina bald if she tries her. Natalie does not give me meek, mild, timid. Natalie gives me, I'm tying his hair up into a bun, I'm throwing on some sweats, and I'm about to meet you at your front door, ho. That's what Natalie gives me. So I hope Shaina is prepared for that if she tries to go for Shane's ill body built ass, okay? Because Natalie will rip her throat out. I really get that from her. I don't get soft from Natalie. Natalie was presenting as very emotional in the pods, but I think that because she was being played and Shane was really playing in her face. But I think outside of this, she'll really cuss the bitch out and she will beat you up. So Shaina, I hope you have your plastic surgeon on speed dial because you're going to need some more work done once Natalie gets a hold of you. And that's it. And as far as Shane and Natalie, I don't know if they're going to make it to, I don't know if they're going to get married. I don't know. I really don't. It depends on how ruthless Shaina tries to be. But I think that if Natalie can be a little bit more open to Shane and Shane can kind of, I don't know, outside the pod, Shane really hasn't been too bad. He's just really needy. So I think if he starts working on the internal validation and stops seeking it from Natalie, I think that they might be okay. So for right now, I'm going to say I think Shane and Natalie will get married. But we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. So those are all of our couples. Right now, the season is a mess. It's cringe central. I'm not really feeling it. Jarrette and Mallory, when all the couples met up, and him disrespecting Iyanna in her face and her disrespecting Salvador, I was fuming. Him just gazing in her eyes and, oh, your ring. Oh, that's not the kind of ring you wanted. I would have got you If you don't get your thirsty punk bitch ass, excuse my French, y'all, but he pissed me off because Iyanna feel like she one of my homegirls, and I will really fight Jarrette. Jarrette, what kind of? Let me know in the comments below if you are watching Love is Blind and what you think of the couples. And let me know your predictions of who you think is going to get married and who is not. And I will be back when they release the part 2, the rest of the remaining, I think, 5 episodes. So as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to see y'all next time for something else. Thank y'all so much for your support, and I'm going to see y'all next time.
Hey, look, I talk my shit and keep it honest, keep it independent. I hear them hating, but that's only cause they inconsistent. He said the weapon was